Don't say anymore. You've already hyped me up too much. You need to calm down.
I haven't watched it.
I don't like being excited about things. Don't tell me the McRib's coming back. Just let me see it on the menu.
Breaking news.
Who?
McRibs.
No!
I don't know, Scoobs.
I don't know. The other thing the only recent movie I've seen that's of note is the Barbie movie.
Oh, yes, I finally saw the Barbie movie also.
You did?
Yeah.
It's been hugely controversial.
Yeah, it is, and I understand why now.
So, okay, I want you to say how you feel about the Barbie movie, and then I want you to say, talk about the controversy surrounding it.
Okay, I had to watch it 4 or 5 times. I very much enjoyed it.
4 or 5 times?
Yeah, because it's very controversial.
Yeah.
And like, it took me a while to understand if I liked it or not. I like it.
It took you 4 times though.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. The comedy in there is great, and the satire of the kind of the role reversal of that world is great. And I feel like I understand my mom and my sister so much better now.
Really?
I really do. Yeah. Like, it's one of those where you're just like, oh, why didn't I see this stuff before? Am I a misogynist? And you have to. It's one of those movies you have to think on certain aspects of the world that you grew up in that you did not recognize until you've seen it through a different lens. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
We can have contrasts.
Well, I have a layered view of it.
Yeah, that's
because I don't think it is what it's. I don't think it's seen as what it's supposed to be. I think it is a. I can't think of what the word is. It's not. I don't think it's a satire. I think it is. It's another word that's kind of similar to. I can't think of it right now. But basically, I think she set out to write a satire, right? And there are things about it that are not covered in a way that I don't think tells a 360-degree cohesive story.
You don't think that it's enough?
All right. So let me say that I love that.
I'm on the same page.
I love that.
Because I'm hoping they do write another, like a second one.
Yeah.
But with Ken as a different perspective.
Enough. The one problem I have
with
is that
a whole different cast. I want there to be a whole different cast.
I don't like that I like Ken more than Barbie.
I don't.
I do.
Definitely don't.
I do because of that, because of the song, and that's me in an entertainment way. But I have some issues. So, like, one of my issues, and it's Ken's story, is that he went back. He went back to Barbie Land to, like, he's bringing fire to the people from Mount Olympus. Yeah. He's bringing knowledge. Yeah. He said, guys, let me tell you about this awesome stuff I found, right?
Okay, yeah.
And he said, it's beer and weed. Basically, he said, look at all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then because he spoke eloquently and the people were receptive, they changed society.
Yeah.
That's called democracy. That's called, speaking your words, and then people were receptive, and then change happening. Now, on the other side, when the Barbies came in, all right, and it was like, this is not Barbie Land.
Came back.
Then when they came back, they kidnapped Barbies.
With this. Yeah, they did.
Put them in vans.
Yeah.
Make sure they were right here. Say, you are being hypnotized by the man, or whatever it was, to change it back.
To bring them back.
And then they said that Ken did what they did.
Yeah.
They said, you brainwashed the people, but they literally stood them here, looked them in their eyes, surrounded them in the black room, and did that. And then manipulated into being jealous.
Yeah. They did.
That's called emotional manipulation.
That song was so annoying to me because of the amount of emotional manipulation that they put those men through.
But no one talks about that stuff.
That is something that is very common amongst certain genders in the community.
Yeah. I mean,
it happens.
Look, I'm just saying in the movie. I'm not bringing it out. I'm just saying in the movie.
But also in society as well. It happens.
That's fair.
Very regularly. And I've had that happen to me, and I've learned from it, and I've gone to therapy for some of it, and then understood what has happened to me. And because it's emotional manipulation.
I mean, that's what happened, bro.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing bad things, but they're the heroes of the movie. But no one's looking at it like they did bad things.
But
That's not the conversation that's happening.
I also think that a lot of what was done when it comes to that is we didn't see the Kens doing that to the women in it. Because they got brainwashed as well. And they were emotionally manipulated. That was off screen while Barbie was in the normal world.
You're saying it's allegedly. If we're in a court of law,
allegedly.
In the court of law, nothing happened.
We didn't see it.
There wasn't even a silent monologue from Ken.
Yeah,
there wasn't even like, you know what? I'm gonna go manipulate them. Like, there was no villain thing.
They showed that
Ken was being open-hearted. Yeah, was excited about these things he figured out.
Yeah,
and then brought them back. There was nothing. It's completely innocent.
Yeah,
but they were like, "What y'all doing is wrong, and we're going to change it."
It was put into a.
We're gonna hurt your feelings, whatever.
It was covertly. It was a covert mission that these characters did.
But that's the satire.
Characters. Yeah.
See, that's the satire, and no one is saying that that's the satire. They're saying what I'm saying is that no one is saying that is why it's a satire.
Yeah,
they're saying the satire is that we're showing that there's a patriarchy by showing the opposite. They're trying to.
It's a flipped.
It's kind of a flipped thing, but they're not showing. What I just said is not what people are recognizing.
Either we're gonna,
which is what makes it a satire,
or we're gonna get more followers. I'm not sure.
They were trying. It seemed like they were trying to make an accurate representation of the real world by having a room full of board members in the Barbie room.
Yeah,
which is actually 4-5 split.
Yeah.
In the real Barbie. Corporate structure.
Yeah.
It's not all men running that. So it's like that's not true.
No.
So you're showing something that's not true.
But
it was like
it was an exaggeration. It was an exaggeration of a lot of what is in the Senate that's going on in the world. Because a lot of what I think that's what they were trying to go with that. Like in the real world, a lot of what we're getting is a bunch of old white guys.
Yeah.
And they are making a lot of decisions. So within
that
Barbie, corporate circle,
that's not the case.
But in the Barbie world, it's that flipped version where
they are the ones
who are in charge.
The Barbie world is a matriarchy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and it's done in a very specific way to bring to light what the patriarchy really is to the men, so that we understand. So that we understand what the patriarchy has done to...
Do you think that men watch this and are thinking, yeah, Barbie Land's fucked up because it's a matriarchy?
Yes.
You think?
I think that...
But women... Are women saying that? Or are women saying...
Some of them.
What I'm hearing is women are saying, yeah, that's how Barbie Land should be. Which makes me think that they think that's how the real world should be. Right. And therefore, they're not seeing that that's a problem. They're saying that we should be in charge.
That was a lot in that question.
Yeah.
But
we can save for next time, though.
There are some women in our world who are going to look at that and be like, on the side that is like that shouldn't be how the world is. Like that's a bad movie. That's a bad representation. I'm with and they were like, the patriarchy isn't that bad. But they have also been kind of the brainwashed versions. Some of them are the brainwashed versions in the French maid outfits that we see in the movie to those kids, and those are the real world women who are looking at that as like, oh, this is bad because it's not actually preaching what patriarchy is. But what it is trying to do is show that if it is completely flipped, it's still bad. It's still just as bad if it's a matriarchy versus a patriarchy. But finding the equilibrium is such a challenge in finding the balance when you have people who are practicing these types of feminism that are not trying to find equality, but instead trying to find a sort of vengeance against men.
But I don't hear anyone saying that Barbie Land is how it's not supposed to be. But I haven't heard anybody say that, which I think is obvious, which would make it a satire. I didn't even hear Greta Gerwig saying that that's the way it is. Well, no one's saying that the Barbies are wrong.
Right.
Which, no one is saying the Barbies are wrong for doing what they did.
I think they're just trying to bring up this conversation. They're trying to.
The conversation is good.
It's great. They're trying to bring to the forefront of what is actually happening. They didn't try to give the message.
Let's say I want to murder orphans.
Do you want?
No. Okay. But let's say I did, right? And I make a movie that is a satire about murdering orphans, right?
Yeah.
So, boom. But if no one says it's bad to murder orphans at the end of it, your message did not land. Okay? The message did not land.
Maybe not.
So if Barbie Land is supposed to show a dictatorship or some version of a matriarchy, then and everyone is saying, "Heck yeah, Barbies, do your thing, good job." That means that message didn't land, and not only that, Greta has not spoken that.
Okay. Which
would mean that if she really thought that, she would have to be subversive and play her own rhetoric to the world as a satire. Meaning she would have to know what you said. She would have to know what you said and believe that. And then when she goes out there, say, yeah, because we're in a patriarchy. And follow. Does that make sense?
I'm getting lost on it, honestly.
I think it's
my mind just went straight to Robert Downey Jr. and Tropic Thunder, and that. I was like, do you want to talk about this now and see if that's good or bad?
My whole thing is no one is saying that the point is.
Well, that's why I had to watch it like 5 or 6 times, because I'm still looking at it from those 2 different perspectives.
You're part of the 5%, man.
And that is why I would love to see a Ken movie done. Keep Alan in there.
Wow.
Give Barbie some more face time, but also do a full recast, because Ken and Barbie are there's so many different variations of them. You could do this so many other times.
I have so many questions and problems with the Barbie movie. I want to bring this back next time. I want to do part 2.
I mean, we have to wrap this up. We're at hour 18, yeah.
So I do want to revisit the Barbie movie because this is good. This is so good.
I feel like we should have started off with that.
I mean, maybe.
I forgot that.
I wrote a whole article on it. I wrote an article on the Barbie movie.
I'm gonna send me the article.
Oh, I can't wait to do it.
Okay.
But I want to do a second article because I discovered what I just talked about after this article.
Okay.
So you're seeing my first reaction.
Okay.
And then I've changed a little bit.
Okay.
So